Good morning, it's Jess here, and it's that time again for a Love of Life TV Friday. Okay, I am just sitting in some nature by the lake with some water, enjoying some me time. It was really super quiet just before when I first got here, but now some school kids have come to do some stand-up paddle boarding, which is cool. I just hope they don't get too loud while I'm doing this video. Okay, I've also got my journal because I was deciding to do some journaling. But first, I'll get this video under the way for you. Today, I've decided I want to talk on living in the present moment because I feel that the more you downpack the present moment and just live and stay there, the more happiness comes from you. So what I mean by that is, because I've talked on thoughts and the spiraling of the thoughts, or just your mindset in general and where it goes and how it can wander so easily, here we go. Put your hand up, or just, you might laugh at this, but how often have you, or are you the type of person that ends up having a conversation in your head that hasn't even happened yet? So for example, say it's someone like your boss or your partner, and you've got to bring something up with them, and you know it's a bit nerve-wracking. So for days or even weeks, you can be inside your head wondering how you're going to bring it up, how you're going to say it. You know, you have to be assertive, you know, you want the best outcome. You feel you might know what they might respond with, but you really actually don't know. But really, you're just so in your head on how the conversation's going to go. And you sit there continuously having this conversation in your head without even having the damn conversation with the person yet. And really, that's just completely robbing you of your present moment because you're living in the future. Or it could be the other way. You could be thinking back to an event that happened in the past, or a conversation, and you could be sitting there going, oh, I could have said this, should have said this, yada yada yada, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Or you're trying to analyze the event that happened and why someone did whatever they did, and really that's just living in the past. So I'm someone who highly believes that these sort of things is what causes depression and anxiety, depressed states, feelings of anxiety, because if you're in your past so much, too much, you're actually causing yourself to feel the depressed state, or the depression, because at the end of the day, you cannot change what has happened. You can only either learn from it or decide to move forward. And so you've really got to learn the way to let go of whatever happened in the past, which some of it may not be as easy as the others, but this is what will help you get out of that depressed state you may be in and bring you back to actually enjoying the present moment that you've got and seeing the beauty in it. And when you actually enjoy the present moment and you are aware of what's going on in that moment, that's when you're awake to seeing possibilities and opportunities that might be right there in front of your face, because you're now not clouding your mindset. And if it's the other way around, where you've had this same conversation in your head so many times that you haven't even had with the person, and guess what? Sometimes when you do this, that conversation doesn't even end up happening anyway, or the whole conversation is totally different than you thought was going to happen. So you've just wasted a lot of time having conversations in your head that don't even end up happening anyway, which is kind of silly, right? But because of the conversational thing that you're having in your head about the future so much, that is the cause of anxiety. This is something I feel sits right with me, and I had to start learning to actually enjoy thoroughly the present moment I have. Like, it could even be things like future-based, where you go, you know, you have this bill that's coming up that you have to pay, and you just sit there and wonder about when the money's going to come, how you're going to pay it, what you're going to do, and I'm not saying it's bad to be prepared for things, But there's a difference between being prepared for something and actually stressing and worrying over it and what the outcome might be, and thinking so much about that day ahead. So put it down on paper. Yes, you've got to pay this bill, this and that needs to be done that day, that week, whatever. But you know it's on paper, it won't get forgotten. You can bring yourself back to the present moment. Stop allowing anxiety to rise by sitting there living in that next day, that next week, whatever it might be. So I say this as if it's super easy. No, it's another thing that has to be practiced, because if your mind is so used to wandering this way and the other way and wants to be go and control-y, you got to take control back of it and choose the thoughts you have. So one way, here's one tip that could work for you. It's called the pause button, or I call mine the peace button. But choose something to do. Mine, it could be as simple as what I do is you put your hand on your wrist, one hand on a wrist, and say the word peace or pause. So you say the word peace, you can say it in your mind, you can say it out loud, whatever works, whatever you feel comfortable in. And the more you do that, stopping your mind from going on a tantrum, grab your wrist, say the word peace, give yourself a few seconds, breathe into it, and then over time you've conditioned this as your mind now associates the hand to the wrist as being peace, and it's a really peaceful feeling in that moment. And over time your mind starts to actually calm a little bit more down. And that's just one tip, but there's a lot of other tools and things that could work for you, so you find what's best for you. But just remember, if you find yourself going forwards or backwards, bring yourself back to the present moment. Smile at the fact that this is where you're at actually now, and the rest will take its place when it needs to. I hope that is something that you can take on for today, and today you actually thoroughly love, because you're in that day for that moment, looking around you going, wow, I have this life, I have so much that I can actually do. I am actually really bloody blessed. Thank you. Okay, have a beautiful day. I shall talk next week. See you later. Bye-bye.